Good morning. I'm here today with Judge Esther L.R. Sylvester of the Court of Common Pleas, the First Judicial District, currently sitting in the Trial Division. And can we start again with your background, Judge? You said you graduated from Villanova
in
Law
1964.
School. Okay.
And I practiced law from that time until I ran for judge in 1985. And in 1985, I was elected, and like at that time, let me just see.
Go ahead.
There was Judge Stout.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you a list of female judges, and it was Judge Stout first, and
Okay.
then Judge Rochette, and then it was Judge Jamison, Judge Tromer,
Mm-hmm.
and in 1976 it was Judge Abraham. So there were only 5 judges before,
Right.
women judges.
Women
That's what
judges.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
In 1985, when I was elected. So I think though in 1984, then Judge Timmons, Judge Moss, Judge Freddie Jackson, and Tom Myers Clark, they were elected in 1984, and so that's all the women.
Yeah,
in there.
so it's not a very,
No, large number.
no, it's not representative of the female population.
Exactly.
Pardon me. So when you were elected, where did you start out? Or was that in,
I started in we had offices over at 1 East Penn Square,
right?
and I was assigned to criminal court,
Okay.
and that was in January. By July, and I didn't, so here's what happened. We just got reassigned to family court.
Oh.
And when I say we, I mean, it was me, it was Judge Reynolds, Judge Tamma Myers Clark, Judge McCabe,
Oh,
and we
right.
and so we all were assigned over to family court, and then that's where I stayed. I stayed in family court.
And you were very
Right.
successful there, too.
Well, yeah, we
Yeah.
did a few things.
Well, yeah, you
So
did a few things.
really few good things. Anyway, so then I stayed there until, well, I got assigned over here to civil.
Mhm.
But I can talk a little bit about what we did in family court.
Sure.
Because, well, we, at that point now, we're talking about I guess it was 1995 when I first got there, 1995.
Okay.
So we started, well, the biggest thing I think that we did was to computerize the whole system.
So, Judge, can you tell me more, a lot more about the computerization over in the family division?
Well, what I want to say is that you never accomplish these things without the help of, like at that point, the court administrator was Joe DePremio, and we decided that we were going to computerize the whole operation, and we did.
Yes.
So, and then when I was over, all right, family court has 2 parts. It has the juvenile first, and then over
Domestic
is
relations.
all domestic relations and custody and divorces. So we had a split. So we computerized all of the domestic relations and the custody, and it was an amazing situation.
Mhm.
And then over at we also computerized in our own little way. Remember when we were
Yeah.
over at it was the dependency and the delinquency kids, and so, but again, we had such a great, what am I going to say, good judges who were, so, I mean, they were just smart, and we just were able to do that. So I am proud of that.
The docketing system worked like a charm, because I helped out with that.
But I know you did.
enjoyed it. I'm not bragging about it, I'm
No,
just
you
saying.
did.
It was easy for me to work with, so that did a lot.
So, but that's it.
Yeah, okay. So you were eventually appointed, while you were doing all this, you had been appointed as
Oh, the administrative judge.
right. Now, then did you leave the family division then, or did you, and come back, or, because I know you were the administrative judge again at
Yeah.
a later period.
Well, oh, I'll tell you what happened. Well, first of all, I was there for the first term in the 90s. So, well, we did, as I said, we did a lot of good things for the kids in terms of, well, a lot of good things. In terms of reducing the backlog, and then something happened. And this is from the, now I'm back in 2001. They send me back in 2001. And this is because here's what happened. The Bar Association, they issued it was about a 50-page report about how horrible that operation was. So they sent me over there to fix it, and I did. And we did, I mean, really, this was an ugly situation. And poor Freddie Jackson
Yeah.
was she was our president judge.
Right.
So I get over there. In 2000, and I had already begun working with everybody, like all of the Women's Law Project, the Department of Human Services, I mean, with everybody over there. And what happened was we fixed it. And the Bar Association what they did was they gave me 6 months to fix it, and they did. And so they never ever pursued it. So that's why I was sent back.
Well, that's excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, they showed good judgment in you being appointed as administrative
time.
judge again, and it worked.
And it worked.
So, right.
And it worked. Anyway, so then I went.
Well, when did you move?
But
Go ahead.
yeah, so here's what the point is. When you spend, I was 11 years in family court, and the decisions over in family court dealing with the kids, with the dependent kids, with the even the delinquent kids, the custody cases, there's so much pressure on you mentally, right?
Sure.
And it was a tough situation, and you're worried about the kids and everybody. And then all of a sudden, I was assigned to civil, and all I had was to worry about the money, because that's what civil cases are about.
Yeah.
And it was good lawyers coming in before you,
Yeah.
and it was much easier situation. But I tried, I like trying cases, and that's what I did. I tried cases.
Well, Judge, I think it's admirable that you took to heart the cases of these juvenile delinquents and dependents, and also these custody cases have to be real.
They're
Yeah.
really horrible.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
And they're very, very tough to deal with. And the other thing is you don't have the good attorney. I mean, very few attorneys over in family court are excellent, but when you come to civil, they all have their big, high-priced attorneys,
Okay, right.
So it was much, much easier. Well, I guess I wanted to say too that our Conference of State Trial Judges gives out a golden crowbar
right.
award,
Yeah.
and I got that from the state because of all the things that I did in dependency and delinquent.
Okay.
So
you're
that's the
recognized
point. I
for
was
that.
I was recognized for that. So I get this plaque, from the rest of the state.
Doesn't it have a crowbar on
Yeah,
it?
it does.
It does a real crowbar on
It does,
right?
yeah.
Okay. I just wondered about that. So how's it been in civil since you've been over there?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been, as I told you, it's much easier because you've got What I've been doing is the medical malpractice cases. These are asbestos cases.
Okay.
All of the, like your big civil, well, what can I say? And they're like, but again, it's all about the money. We're talking about money here. And so I just, it's a much easier job.
Yeah, well, maybe, but I think that the family court probably misses you at any rate,
Oh,
so,
that's
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, no, you always did care about the
I did,
cases
for
and
the
the
kids,
kids,
yeah.
yeah. I
Thank you.
appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I started out, so. What would you, how would you advise people, maybe especially women, who have just become judges? What would you tell them? Let it loose if you like, or whatever you think.
Well, I feel that I think it's much easier now that 40%, it's over 40% of there are women in the law schools.
Okay.
So,
Really?
now, right now,
Oh,
sure.
good.
So I just feel that it's a much easier time. I don't know. I don't have, I know this, that the attorneys respect us. Whether it's a woman or a male.
Oh, good.
You just see what I'm saying?
So you didn't see any difference
No,
there?
no difference at all. No
Excellent, that's excellent, I think. Were there any people that you admired when you first started out or through your career? Or maybe somebody who was a mentor? Yes, go ahead.
Okay.
I love her.
Yeah, well,
I
now
loved it.
I'm going to talk about, this is Juanita Kid Stout. Now, Judge Stout was in the court, she was the first woman to be appointed, and she was appointed in 1969.
Okay.
And so now I'm in the DA's office trying cases in front of her.
Yeah.
So she was fabulous, I'm telling you, a fabulous woman. And yeah, she's the one that I admire. And then she went on to the Supreme Court, and just a wonderful, wonderful woman.
Yeah, she was very kind to me.
She was?
Yeah, when we were training one day, and she just insisted that we, assume a first name basis and call each other on a first name basis. And she also made me feel a little better about the training I was doing. So
Oh,
it
very
calmed me down a
good.
little bit,
Yeah, wasn't she? She's just a wonderful, wonderful
I was
woman.
nervous. I was presenting
Oh,
it
I
to a bunch of
imagine.
judges. You know?
Right, exactly.
I was a little edgy,
Yeah.
especially with my math. But is there anything else you want to talk to us about today?
Well, I was very lucky because one of the big, I saw the last question that Judge Demby
Yeah.
about people that these are, now, in addition to Judge Stout being there for me, I actually worked for Jim Beasley. He hired me, that's what I'm saying, I'm a woman, he hired me in his office. So.
And Beasley's a former chancellor of the Philadelphia.
Everybody,
Bar.
yeah,
Okay.
but he had the biggest cases, the major, and so, anyway, so I worked for him, and he had no problem hiring me, and then, I was in the district attorney's office, and I had the opportunity to work with Richard Sprague, who's like a genius, and but I was in their office and I worked investigations it was Arlen Spector who was the district attorney, and Dick was the deputy. So I just had, I don't know if it's luck, but I had really good training.
Well, maybe it's a combo of luck and talent.
Maybe.
You don't think that?
Well,